Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Nitai Satchitanda, Nitai Satchitanda, Nitai Satchitanda, Jaya Nitai Satchitanda, Nitai Satchitanda, Nitai Satchitanda, Nitai Satchitanda, Nitai Satchitanda, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya 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 Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Jai Srila Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, 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 Jai Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Jai Shri Nitai, Sachi Sundara Chikita Giraraja Govardhan Gītā, Gaura Premanandi. Kiba Jayo, Oh Jayo, Gaura Chante, Arati Kusoba, Jayo, Jayo Gaura Chante, Arati Kusoba, Chanavita. Yaga Manalopa Ya Navita Vane Yaga Manalopa Yaki Nitai Chan Amigata Naki Nitai Chan Pamegatata Nikate Advaita Sri Vasa Chatradara Nikate Advaita Shri Vasajatradara Vashi Yachego Rachan Radna Simhasane Vashi Yachego Rachan Radna Simhasane Arati Torena Brahma Ati Devakane Arati Korena Brahma Ati Devakane Nara Adiyati Kore Shamarajulaya Narayati Kore Shamarajulaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vaju Gosha Atigaya Sanchaya Mukunda Vaju Gosha Atigaya Shankar Pache Ganta Pache Pache Karatala Shankar Pache Ganta Pache Pache Karatala Madhura Mitanga Madhe Paramarasa Madhura Mitanga Bhaje Bharama Rasala Shankabache Kantabache Madhurma Purabache Shankabache Kantabache Madhurma Puramaru Abache Shankha Bache Ganta Bache Madhurama Purabache Shankha Bache Ganta Bache Madhurama Purabache Madhurama Purabache Madhurma Purama Purabache Haribol Gaur Haribol Haribol Gaura Haribol 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 Gaur Haribol Bahu Kotik Chandra Chine Padana Uchwala Bahu Koti Chandra Chine Padana Uchwala Kalate Shevana Mala Kore Chalamala Kalate Shevana Mala Ure Chalamala Shiva Shukanarada Rime Gathagarada Shiva Shukanarada Rime Gathagarada Bhakti Vinoka Deke Gaurara Sampada Bhakti Vinoka Deke Gaurara Sampada Kipa Chayo Chayo Gaura Chande Ara Pikosho Chayo Chayo Gaura Chande Ara Pikosho Cha Navitata Vane Yaga Manalopa Cha Navitata Vane Yaga Manalopa Gaurange Karotik Shobha Jaga Janamanalopa Gaurange Arotik Shobha Jagga Janamanalopa Gaurange Arotik Shobha Jagga Janamanalopa Gaurange Arotik Shobha Jagga Janamanalopa Haribol Gaur Haribol Haribol Nitai Gaura Haribol 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 Gaura Haribol Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Nitai Sachishundar Nitai Sachishundar Nitai Sachishundar Nitai Sachishundar Jaya Nitai Sachishundar Nitai Sachishundar Nitai Sachishundar Nitai Sachishundar Jaya Giri Govardhan 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 Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Jai Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bhajakacharya Shatarashadha Shri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Bhajakacharya Shatarashadha Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem se kroho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Shri Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maya Muna Maya Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Shama Veda Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Gaura Premanandi All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Vadaya Krishna Vestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurana Pitanu Shesha Shuri Basti Dedeshidaya. Hare Krishna. Welcome Vashanam Mataji. Welcome Amrita Radhe Mataji. Hare Krishna. Welcome Jayanti Bai. And welcome, where's Ben?
Ben still down with the flu.
Still down with the flu. Okay.
So,
Hare Krishna. So, welcome everyone. Amrita Radhe Mataji. You want to sing us Narasimha Pranam prayers? Lord Narasimha Swami Ki Jai.
Okay, Prabhu. Namaste Narashinghaya. Namaste Narashinghaya. Prahlad Lad Daine. Prahlad Lad Daine. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatanganakhalaye, Shilatanganakhalaye, Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsinga, Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsinga, Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsinga. Yato yato yami tato Nrsinga, Rahe Nrsinga, Hridaye Nrsinga, Rahe Nrsinga, Hridaye Nrsinga, Narsinghamadim Sharanam Prapade, Narsinghamadim Sharanam Prapade, Tava Kara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Tavakara Kamalavare Nakham Adbhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsingadev Jaya Narsingadev Narsingadev Jaya Narsingadev Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanande Hari 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 Bol. Prabhu, I can't hear you. Hare Krishna Prabhu, you are on mute. Are you still singing? Hare Krishna Prabhu.
I've told him.
Yes, I'm on mute. Thank you very much. I'm speaking, I'm on mute. So you didn't hear what I said. You kept so nicely in the harmony and melody, so I could even play along with a harmonium. And from beginning, you kept in the tune till the very end. So
That's very rare of me, Prabhu, but thank you. Looks like your association is helping.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihare Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihare Jaya Gopi Chanavallabha Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Praja Chanaranjana Jaya Yashoda Nandana Jaya Praja Chanaranjana Yamunatira Udachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamunatira Udachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Giridvaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Chanarajana Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Chanarajana Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Radha Madhava Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
What do you think of the Lords today?
They are beautiful. Amrita Radhe Mataji, what do you say? How you like our Lords in the really warm jumpers on and plenty of ornaments and really nicely and scarf, some foot warmers as well. Everything is there. How you like
Jai,
it?
they are very beautiful. They are very beautiful. They are very pleased by Varsana Mataji's so loving service. All
There you
glories,
go.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely. And the flowers, you, for the first time, the flowers actually smelled.
Oh,
Most flowers don't have a scent you buy in the shop. Of carnations would have a scent, but this marguerite,
yes, those are
it has actually a scent. Very nice. So the Lords are happy. It's a
new jewelry.
beautiful outfit,
New jewelry there.
beautiful crowns on their heads, and Hare Krishna. Thank you, Vaishnava Mataji, for taking care of them and dressing so nicely. All blessings to you.
The mercy.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, Hare Krishna. We're looking at Bhagavad Gītā. Are we? Yes. From the chapter 6. Chapter 6, text 1. Dhyana Yoga. Now we have chapter 5 of Karma Yoga. Now suddenly we have finished chapter 5. Now we are on chapter 6. Jnana Yoga. Dhyana, sorry, not Jnana. Dhyana Yoga. Let's see what Krishna has to say. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha
Bhagavanu Vacha.
Anashrita Karma Phalam
Anashrita Karma Phalam.
Karyam Karma Karotiya
Karyam Karma Karotiya.
Sa sannyāsī ca yogī ca
Sannyāsī cha yogī cha.
na nirguna na chakriya
Na nirgnir na chakriya.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha
Anashrita Karma Phalam
Anashrita Karma Phalam
Karyam Karma Karotiya
Karyam Karma Karotiya
Sa sannyāsī cha yogī cha
Sa sannyāsī cha yogī cha
na niragnir cha chakriya.
Na niragnir na chakriya. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha
Anashrita Karma Phalam
Anashrita Karma Phalam
Karyam Karma Karotiya
Karyam Karma Karotiya
Sa sannyāsī cha yogī cha
Sa sannyāsī cha yogī cha
Na niragnir na chakriya.
na niragnir cha chakriya. I think I got that wrong before. Niragnir.
It's niragnir. Yeah.
Okay. Amrita Radhe Mataji?
I think her mic was off.
You want to chant the Sanskrit?
Prabhu, I'm a bit caught up right. Prabhu, I'm
You
sorry,
what?
I'm a bit caught up right now. I have to take care of Tejas. So please, I'm a bit caught up right now.
She's with the baby.
Oh, how is a baby? He's not a baby anymore. Teja Prabhu, Brahmachari. He's a brahmachari.
Yes.
Send him to us. We will make a really nice brahmachari out of him.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
But you may not like that. No, of course he will like that, because he will also make a brahmachari out of him. Okay. Let's see what Lord Krishna is saying. Yes, of course. In the verse Bhagavan, we know Sri Bhagavan Krishna Uvacha speaks karma palam. That I would say that's a fruit. So fruit, palam is fruit, right?
Phalam, yes.
Yes. What's the verse?
Anashrita
If one offers me a little bit of fruit, of water,
accepts.
what's the verse? Oh,
Don't do it offhand.
Amrita Radhimanaji, what is the verse? The offering verse.
Offers me fruit with love and devotion, I will accept.
Huh?
Whosoever offers me with love and devotion
A leaf,
any fruit or
a flower, and a bit of
flower,
water.
tulsi water and tulsi leaf, I will accept.
Yes. What's the Sanskrit? Amrita Radhimanaji.
No, but she's gone. She's busy with the baby.
Tejas, what's the Sanskrit? Tejas Prabhu. I can't even remember it right now. Anyway, that's karma palam, the fruit of karma. Karma, another time karma, karotiya. Sannyāsī, yes, yogī, cha, and niragnir. Okay, let's just see what. Karyam, obligatory. Karma, work, yes, of course. Oh, niragnir. There is a word, agni. Two words joining. Nir, ni, without.
Without.
Agni, fire. Ni, agni becomes niragni.
All right. Without fire.
No, Sanskrit is so beautiful, isn't it?
Without fire.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, translation by the way, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, karma palam, and who works as he is obligated, is in the renounced order of life, and he is a true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. Oh, some strong words. Purport By His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this chapter, the Lord explains that the process of the Eightfold Yoga system is a means to control the mind and the senses. However, this is very difficult for people in general to perform, especially in the age of Kali. Also, the Eightfold Yoga system is recommended in this chapter, Mashtanga, yes? The Lord emphasizes that the process of Karma Yoga, or acting in Krishna consciousness, is better. Everyone acts in this world to maintain his family and their paraphernalia, but no one is working without some self-interest, some personal gratification, be it concentrated or extended. The criterion of perfection is to act in Krishna consciousness, and not with a view to enjoying the fruits of work. To act in Krishna consciousness is a duty of every living entity, because all are constitutionally parts and parcels of the Supreme. The parts of the body work for the satisfaction of the whole body. The limbs of the body do not act for self-satisfaction, but for the satisfaction of the complete whole. Similarly, the living entity who acts for the satisfaction of the Supreme Whole and not for personal satisfaction is a perfect sannyāsī, is a perfect yogi. The sannyāsīs sometimes artificially think that they have become liberated from all material duties, and therefore they cease to perform Agnihotra yagyas, fire sacrifices. But actually they are self-interested, because their goal is to become one with the impersonal Brahman. Such a desire is greater than any material desire, but it is not without self-interest. Similarly, the mystic yogi who practices a yoga system with half-opened eyes, ceasing all material activities, desiring some satisfaction for his personal self. But a person acting in Krishna consciousness works for the satisfaction of the whole, without self-interest. A Krishna conscious person has no desire for self-satisfaction. His criterion of success is the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus is the perfect sannyāsī, or perfect yogi. Lord Chaitanya is the highest perfectional symbol of renunciation, praised in this way. Na danam na channam na sundarim kavitam va jagat isha kamaye mama chanmani chanmanishvare bhavatad bhaktir ahaitu kitvai. Shikshastaka 4, as quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita 20:29. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want only is a causeless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated is in the renounced order of life, and he is a true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. Amakena timirandasya agananshana salakaya jakshur unmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Shtapitam yena bhutale swayam rupakatamayam dadati svapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrachatam Sahagana Rakuna Dandvitam Dam Sachivam Satvaitam Sabatutam Parichana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Scha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanda Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishapanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarupascha Kripa Sindhupya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudhi Gaura Bhaktarinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. What a beautiful verse and what a beautiful purpose by Srila Prabhupada. Gītā. Unattached. Everybody is so much attached, as Srila Prabhupada later on point out too. Paraphernalia, household paraphernalia, family, children, land, society, friendship and love. Everyone is attached. Because they can't avoid it. Without Krishna consciousness, without being attached to Krishna, how can one be not attached to society, friendship and love? So people, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, not only attached to material objects. Oh, are you getting a video for your brother?
Yes.
Yes. Jai. Brother Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, not only attached to material objects, that's one thing, but attached to the fruits of one's work. That is very difficult to give up. And the fruits of one's work is generally money. And there's a saying, money, money, money is sweeter than honey. So people may be able to give up so many things. But when it comes to money, they're very attached. Money is so dear to everybody's heart. So therefore, when we asking people for some support, financially, or to sponsor something for the temple, people are very attached. And if we come with a collection can, then pennies going in. Sometimes pound, sometimes a very pious person, they put a fiver in. That happens also. So, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work, that must be a very special person who is unattached to. If that person is not stopping all work, like the misconception, like the impersonalists and the Mayavadis, they think, now I'm a sannyāsī, I'm free from all obligation of duty. That's not so. A real sannyasi is not giving up work. What does he do instead? Vaishnava Mataji. A real sannyasi is not giving up work. So what does he do?
He's supposed to meditate, right?
Huh?
He's supposed to meditate. Sannyasi, he would just be meditating.
Meditate?
Well, giving up everything else.
No, he's working. But he's working for Krishna.
Well, concentrating on the Lord all the time.
Yes, he's working for
That's what I'm
Krishna.
saying.
He's working so very, very hard for Krishna. Like Srila Prabhupada, who was traveling all over the world. That's a real sannyasi, not one who doesn't light a fire and gives up all duties. And well, we come to that a bit later. So, and works as he is obligated. We have all an obligation to work. As a sannyasi, as a householder, we have an obligation to work. We have to maintain the family, and everybody has to, nobody can exist without some kind of work. We have to maintain his body, right? So, that's our obligation. So with these qualifications just discussed, one is in the renounced order of life. Renounced order of life, of course, means sannyas. Sannyasi doesn't mean someone in saffron robes and with a danda. That's the external signs of sannyasi. Sannyasi means someone is renounced, as described in this verse, renounced from the fruit of his activities. That's a real sannyasi. So how did Srila Prabhupada call his householders? Remember Vaishnava Mataji? We had said before. He called them householder sannyasis. Just see. He called them householder sannyasi. So not just, okay, these are householders and this is sannyasi, this is a brahmachari. No, because they have renounced the fruits of their activities and working as they're obligated. Srila Prabhupada calls them, these are my householder sannyasis. Very elevated. So, this renunciation is not the external dress and danda, but this renunciation is internal. The mind, the heart have to be renounced from the fruits of one's work and dedicated for the service of the Lord. And the householder sannyasis. And women are also sannyasis. Why not? If they're renouncing the fruits of their work and their activities and working for Krishna. So, Lord Krishna is saying, such a person is a true mystic. Mysticism, a true mystic. Not one who lights no fire and performs no duty. And that, of course, and Srila Prabhupada explains later on in the purport, it's the one who does not light a fire and does not perform any duties, that relates to the impersonalists. That is a misconception. So Srila Prabhupada says the sannyasis sometimes. The sannyasis, not Hare Krishna, ISKCON sannyasis. Not, that is not. There are many other sannyasis. We go to India, there are many sannyasis, right? Many saintly persons with danda or without danda, and so many renounced. So that means the sannyasis sometimes artificially think that they have become liberated from material duties. And Srila Prabhupada points out in some other purport, it's one thing to be actually liberated. And a devotee on the liberated platform, what does he think of himself? Who can say? If someone is actually liberated, a devotee, what does he think of himself? What would you suggest, Vaishana Mataji?
Part of him thinking he's progressing in his spiritual duties.
He thinks of himself not liberated. A devotee never thinks of himself, oh, now I'm liberated, I'm on the liberated platform. No, the devotee does not think like that. The devotee thinks he's the most fallen of all. Not artificially, but real. Artificially, that can also happen. There was this nice story where a new devotee, a new bhakta, he always wanted to say something when Srila Prabhupada gave class and asked for questions, and so when it came to question time, he said, Srila Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. The most fallen, artificially. Of course, he wasn't the most fallen. He was still materially very much attached. But I'm the most fallen because in the material world, everyone wants to be the most rich, the most beautiful, the most renounced even, the most famous. So these are the opulences of the strongest. The material world, everybody is trying to be the most. So this Bhakta, let's call him Bhakta Chan, he thought it will please Srila Prabhupada. You say, I'm the most fallen. Because he has been reading, we should feel ourselves as the most fallen. And very advanced Vaishnavas that think of themselves real, not artificially, not like Bhakta Chan, I'm the most fallen. So he said, Srila Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen. Srila Prabhupada looked at him and he said, you are not the most anything. You are not the most anything. Because Srila Prabhupada could see through him. Srila Prabhupada has this ability, a pure devotee has this ability to look right through a person, right in the heart, the mind, the heart, and see many previous lifetimes as well. Srila Prabhupada could see that. So many accounts of devotees saying, Srila Prabhupada looked right through me. I had nothing to hide. I was just standing like naked in front of Srila Prabhupada. Nothing to hide. In the deepest corners of my heart, Srila Prabhupada knew it all. Because if one is on that level of Krishna consciousness, is at acharyas, and Krishna will reveal. It is said, a Krishna conscious person knows everything. How come? Knows everything. How is that to be understood? That a Krishna person, conscious person, who is connected with Krishna, and Krishna is an all-knower of everything, and by that connection with Krishna, the devotee also knows everything. We know Krishna, we know everything. So, a devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, do you know everything? Are you omniscient? Do you know everything? What do you think what Srila Prabhupada has answered? Amrita Radhe Mataji. Or are you still with Tejas? Okay, Vaishnava Mataji. What would you think Srila Prabhupada has answered?
I can't imagine what he would have said.
Huh?
But I can't imagine what he would have said, but it would have been something very powerful. Something very powerful.
Yes.
I'm sure Srila Prabhupada would have.
Of course, it was very powerful. And very, let's remember that. Because that challenge sometimes comes. Srila Prabhupada, do you know everything? Srila Prabhupada said, I know whatever Krishna wants me to know. That's very powerful.
Yeah.
I know whatever Krishna wants me to know in any particular situation.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So that means I'm depending 100% on Krishna. If Krishna reveals something, I don't know. And there's this beautiful story of Bhakta Luke and Bhakta John. Let's call them like that. Bhaskar was one of them, and the other one, let's call him Bhakta Luke, because I don't know the name. There were security guards. So they had in the temple some security guards. And one day, Bhaskar said to Luke, do you know what? When Srila Prabhupada comes down every morning with his slippers, he goes to the temple room, he's putting his slippers outside, and he goes in the temple room. He has office obeisances, takes Charnamrita and so on. And when he comes out, he puts on his slippers, goes in his room, takes off his slippers on the door and goes in his room. So Bhakta Luke was saying, yes, so what? And then Bhaskar was saying, Srila Prabhupada was so regular that you could set your watch according to this. I have experienced someone who was regular like that. That was our Ramachandra from Dosby Street, Bhikkhu Maharaja. He was, you could also set the watch. He had a schedule, and it is, the morning programs, and this and that, and a particular time, and he was eating something, and then he was going out on book distribution, and particularly to come back, like that. So Srila Prabhupada, Bhaskar said, you could set your watch. When Srila Prabhupada comes down, goes in the temple, and comes out, put on his slippers, and goes up again. So Luke was saying, so what? Well, I have seen these very same slippers in a shop, new slippers. It's exactly the same make, same. And Bhakti Luke still didn't get what Bhaskar's intention was. So he said, so. And when Srila Prabhupada goes into the temple, I will take his slippers and put my slippers, which I bought already from the store, the same slippers, and put them exactly where Srila Prabhupada left his slippers. And then when Srila Prabhupada goes up, takes off his slippers, I exchange them again. And I have slippers with Srila Prabhupada foot dust on it, which Srila Prabhupada was wearing, the greatest Mahaprasadam. The devotees would fight for it.
Yeah.
That's his plan. So, he did it. And when he was in the temple room, he exchanged the slippers. And he was around there, yes or not. And then Srila Prabhupada put on the slippers, went up to his room. But he didn't take them off as usual. He went with his slippers right into his room. Oh no.
He sensed it.
Oh no, the plan didn't work out.
Oh.
When he told Bhakta Luke that he exchanged the slippers, then Bhakta Luke was saying, I also want to do that. I also want a pair of slippers Srila Prabhupada was wearing. Then Bhaskar was saying, no you don't. Because Srila Prabhupada went with his slippers in his room, with Bhaskar's slippers, and after a few minutes, that was upstairs, and Bhaskar was downstairs, then a sannyāsī, servant, Srila Prabhupada's servant, he shouted, is there anyone called Bhaskar? Ah! His heart sunk down to his feet. And he said, Srila Prabhupada said, you can keep his slippers.
Wow.
Thank you very much for the slippers. You can keep them. But don't play tricks on your spiritual master.
Wow.
So that's a very interesting story.
Amazing.
And I had someone, we all know, but I don't mention names, a long time ago. He said, no, that must have been Srila Prabhupada recognized they weren't his slippers or this or that. I said, no, Srila Prabhupada knew. That's not possible. He knows things, he knows everything. That's not possible. And that was an argument. It could be done. But as according to Srila Prabhupada, a pure devotee, or he said, I know whatever Krishna wants me to know. And Krishna wanted him to know what Bhaskara did, exchange his slippers, therefore he knew. It doesn't mean he knows whatever Krishna wants him to know, he will know. That's beautiful. Beautiful story. It's somewhere on the internet, related by, probably by Bhaskara himself. I think he learned his lesson. Don't look at the clock. The clock is wrong.
It doesn't work, yeah.
And I'm very happy it's wrong, because you don't have to look every 5 minutes.
No, I think, yeah, it's time
So,
for prasad.
Sir, we started a bit late, didn't we?
Yes, but it's almost 8:30, so I'll just feed the Lords.
Okay.
Then I can sit.
So, these impersonalist sannyāsīs or Mayavad sannyāsīs say, giving up all duties. Now I'm sannyāsī, I'm living so renounced, I'm not lighting a fire, I'm giving up all duties, have no duties, have renounced everything. But they're not without self-interest. What's their self-interest? They want to merge into the Brahma Jyoti. They want to merge into the Brahman, in the impersonal Brahman. Srila Prabhupada says, such a desire is greater than any material desire, but it is not without self-interest. That's very interesting. Material desires can be very, very strong. We all know, we have all personal experience how strong material desire can be. When we overcome by material desire and we don't check it straight away, then it is very difficult to check it altogether. Because we know very well the verse, by contemplating the object of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. From attachment, lust develops, anger arises, delusion, bewilderment of memory, and we are back down in the material pool, on the material platform, totally engulfed by Maya. So that is, if we contemplate the object of the senses. So we know how strong material desires are. And if we contemplating the objects means dwelling on it a little bit longer, not just looking or at something, no, just meditating on it almost. So that is a strong material desire. But here Srila Prabhupada says, such a desire to become one with the impersonal Brahman is greater than any material desires. Wow, how can that be? We cannot even imagine. Because we are so much established in devotional service. So becoming one with Brahman, that has no attraction for a devotee. Zero. Why would a devotee become one with Brahman? How can he do his service? I'm one with Brahman. How can I do deity worship? How can I cook for Krishna? How I can chant for Krishna? How I can preach for Krishna? All our services are all finished if we want to merge into the Brahman. Oneness. We, as devotees, we appreciate the duality. Of course, there is oneness and duality both simultaneously, achintya abheda tattva. But one has to understand properly how to apply this achintya abheda tattva. Oneness and duality at the same time. Generally, people cannot understand. This philosophy was established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Before we going back to Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, and so there was so many philosophical trends. Advaita, Advaitavada, Vishishtadvaita, qualified monism, and so the whole philosophical development of thought, of understanding, it developed. And if the Advaita, so oneness is emphasized, then that is an impersonalist. And the duality is also not that we have in this material world. But oneness and duality simultaneously, and it is achintya, inconceivable. The example is given. The sun and the sunshine. The sun is, the sunshine, we could say, is one with the sun. Right? Because the sunshine gives light and heat, like the sun. So, in that sense, sunshine and sun are one, Advaita. But they're different also, because the sunshine, the little quantum particles within the sunshine, individual millions and billions of little particles streaming out from the sun, they are not the sun. Like we say, the sunshine has come into my room. Now, if the sunshine is the same as the sun, then the sun is coming in my room, everything will be burnt, utterly destroyed, like a nuclear blast. So oneness and difference simultaneously. So as devotees, we want to serve the Lord. Also, we have to become one with Brahman. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Bhagavatam starts like that. I'm Brahman. We are all Brahman. But we don't want to merge into the Brahman. We want to serve that Para-Brahman, Krishna, in so many beautiful services. We want to do our deity worship, we want to do cooking, we want to reading Shastra, chanting, Sankirtan, Harinam, so many things. In oneness that cannot be done. So it is very difficult, at least for me, that such a desire of becoming one with the impersonal Brahman is greater than any material desire, because we don't have that experience. Also, before I came in contact with Krishna consciousness and with the Bhagavad Gītā and with devotees, I had some tendency of impersonal philosophy. That was the only real spiritual knowledge I came across. long time back, half a lifetime back. And as mentioned before, Srila Prabhupada actually says in one Bhagavad Gītā purport, said to try to understand the impersonal Brahman through the speculative process. It can actually be helpful until one meets a pure devotee. You know, that was exactly my situation. It was helpful, made some spiritual progress in impersonal speculation, but as soon as I received Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gītā, in fact met Srila Prabhupada through his Bhagavad Gītā, the other meeting that came later, but we can say I met Srila Prabhupada through his Bhagavad Gītā. He spoke directly to me through his Bhagavad Gītā. That were his words, that was his Vani. As soon as I met Srila Prabhupada in his Vani, and I read a little bit in Bhagavad Gītā, everything became so clear, crystal clear. And all attachment for impersonal speculation disappeared immediately. It was like the sun has come into the room. There's a beautiful song by the late Beatle George Harrison. You may know that song, Here Comes the Sun, Here Comes the Sun. Actually, that was in reference to Srila Prabhupada. Here comes the sun, yes. When Srila Prabhupada came to the West, it was like the sun has come, the sunshine to enlighten everyone. And now those followers of Srila Prabhupada say, carry on. Try to enlighten everyone with that sunshine of Krishna consciousness. Anyway, it is stated here, Srila Prabhupada said, such a desire of becoming one with the impersonal Brahman is greater than any material desire. But it is not without self-interest. Because we want to become free from self-interest. But Sayujya Mukti is not without self-interest, because we want to merge into the Brahmajyoti and become peaceful and. Not we, but some. So, still a selfish desire. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada says, the mystic yogi who practices a yoga system with half-opened eyes, ceasing all material activities, desires some satisfaction for his personal self. I did also try that. Not that I was a mystic yogi, I just tried to meditate with half-opened eyes and looking on the tip of the nose. That was long before I received the Bhagavad Gītā, long before. And I was surprised that these same instructions are also found in Bhagavad Gītā, that those mystic yogi is sitting in an asana, in meditation, controlling his breathing by the Hatha Yoga process, and with half-closed eyes, there's a Bhagavad Gītā verse, with half-closed eyes, and meditating on the super soul in the heart. That has all a reason, half-closed eyes. We talked about that some time ago. Full closed eyes, we fall asleep. Fully opened eyes, we become distracted. Half-closed eyes, to focus your consciousness within, on Paramatma, on the Supersoul. So, Srila Prabhupada says here, those mystic yogis, they practicing the yoga process with half-opened eyes, ceasing all material activities, at least as long as in meditation. Once a meditation is finished, how long can one meditate? 1 hour, 2 hours, 5, 8 hours, 10 hours? But at one point one has to take some food stuff and perhaps stretch his legs a little bit and sleep, of course. So such yogis, mystic yogis, that desire some satisfaction for their personal self. Srila Prabhupada's quote. What are they desiring? Generally, the mystic yogis are desiring mystic powers. If they don't desire mystic powers and they desire to understand the Paramatma and have the darshan of the Paramatma, they will give up their practice. They become devotees. But generally, the mystic yogis, they desire mystic powers. What are those mystic powers? Anima, Lagima, and so many others. To become smaller than the smallest, heavier than the heaviest, lighter than the lightest. Like there are many instances in Shastra. Hanuman had those mystic powers, but he didn't become deluded. He didn't become proud of his mystic powers, because he engaged his mystic powers in the service of Lord Ram. If we ever have some mystic powers, then we engage them in Krishna's service. We have some mystic powers too, and some devotees have some powers. They can distribute books like anything. We cannot even imagine. They have this Shakti. And so many other Shaktis. So Hanuman, what was Hanuman's mystic power? What was his Shakti? He could make himself so small that he could enter through a keyhole in the door in Ravana's palace. Or he could make himself so huge and big. These are the mystic powers we're talking about. Mystic yoga powers. How Hanuman got these powers? There is no account as far as we didn't. He didn't sit down in mystic yogi meditation and staring on the tip of the nose. Not that I know about. He didn't practice Ashtanga yoga. But if Krishna wants, he can bestow those mystic powers to any devotee. Let's look at Srila Prabhupada. How many mystic powers he had to come with just a few dollars to the Western countries where people are so engrossed in sense gratification that it's almost unimaginable they would take up Krishna consciousness and renounce meat eating, intoxication, illicit sexual connections, gambling. So that is an ABC of modern materialistic life. So how is it possible someone can give that up? And Srila Prabhupada wrote in his diary, Chaladutta diaries, how is it possible that these Westerners will accept Krishna consciousness? Where it says no meat eating, fish, eggs, no intoxication, no sexual illicit connection, and so on. But somehow or other, my Lord, Krishna, you have brought me here for some purpose. He did not know if his mission will be successful or not, but he knew Krishna had made arrangements to bring him here. Arrangements because his spiritual master gave him that instruction, not just him, he gave that instruction to everyone. But it was Srila Prabhupada who picked it up. That's not actually exactly, because there have been some sannyāsīs earlier on of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. They tried to fulfill the desire of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta to come and preach in the West. So they went to London and they thought, we coming to the West, we have to dress like Western gentlemen. That we have to do in order to appeal to the people. If we come in our sannyas robes and with danda, who will? People will ridicule us. So needless to say, that mission, they came and they dressed in suit and ties, it wasn't successful. And they returned back to India. And then Srila Prabhupada came. He didn't change his sannyas clothes into suit and tie. We presented Krishna consciousness in an authentic way to the Western people. And he had been asked, kind of patronizingly, what, Swami, why did you come to the West? Why did you come to New York? Why did you come to America? What do you have to bring? The Western people have everything, and you have nothing. You have a set of clothes or two sets of clothes and with no possession. So what do you have to give? And Srila Prabhupada gave a very nice answer. That was a reporter. He said, I have to give what you have forgotten. So Srila Prabhupada recognized that. The Westerners, they had forgotten God. They had forgotten Krishna. And he was reviving that memory. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, we're speaking about the mystic power and the Shakti. So Srila Prabhupada had that Shakti. How did that manifest? He was sitting in his sannyas robes and danda. All what he had is a pair of kartals. He was sitting in Thompson Square Park every day for a few hours and chanting Hare Krishna. Under that tree, I have been told, or I have read, that tree is still there, and there is a plaque on that tree. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. He sat under that tree, and the whole Hare Krishna movement started from here. And that's a fact. Everyday chanting the pure name, Shuddha Nam of the Lord. We're doing so many Nam. We're doing Nama Parat, the offensive chanting, the 10 offenses. We're doing Nama Bas maybe, the shadow in between the pure chanting and the offensive chanting. But to do Shuddha Nam, one has to be very advanced. And there's a Shastric statement. chanting the name of the Lord, when we're speaking about Shuddhanam, pure chanting, if one does not have tears in his eyes when chanting the name of the Lord, it is understood one's heart is hard like a rock. But by progressing in Krishna consciousness, our heart is supposed to become soft like butter. So that is Srila Prabhupada's mystic power. Just sitting under a tree and chanting Hare Krishna, just with a pair of kartals, no harmonium, no mridangam, no this, no that. And then everything started there. Some hippies, they were curious. They have read Aurobindo, they have read about Vivekananda, any kind of Indian mysticism. And that was very fashionable at the time amongst the hippies. And not only, it was fashionable about the high society as well. Some very great thinkers, mainstream thinkers, poets, and so on, writers, they had studied Bhagavad Gītā. Bhagavad Gītā was there, not Bhagavad Gītā as it is. Bhagavad Gītā was there. So they studied from a philosophical, speculative point of view. They never thought, I should practice Bhagavad Gītā. No, they were just, in certain circles, they were enjoying the philosophy. Yes, that is very nice, high philosophy. Only when Srila Prabhupada came and presented Bhagavad Gītā as it is, people actually became devotees. They practiced Bhagavad Gītā. So it's not for armchair philosophy. It's for putting it into practice in our daily lives and become devotees and progress and become pure devotees and go back home to Godhead. Simple, like that. So that was Srila Prabhupada's mystic powers. One time, that's also a very well-known story, Srila Prabhupada, nothing has been established there. There were no temples at that time. There was a storefront, maybe around that time, the matchless gifts. And he sat in the park on a park bench, and so some New Yorker man, he asked him, what do you do here, and so on. And then Srila Prabhupada talked. Oh no, we have a big worldwide society. We have hundreds of temples and so many devotees, and we're distributing so many books, and nothing of that had manifested at the time. He talked of that as if it was already there. That's another mystic power and opulence of Srila Prabhupada. What to speak of if he looked at you through your eyes into your heart, he changed your life. With just a look. With just a look. That's a power. That's a mystic power. And there's so many other mystic powers of different sages and so on. But the real point is, if we have any Shakti, we have to engage it in the service of the Lord and not for our own sense gratification. So why Srila Prabhupada writes, those mystic yogis desire some satisfaction for their personal self. The least what they want to achieve, that they are admired for their mystic powers. They want to show it off. Like the story of some children in the village. They have been friends for a long time. And at one point, one of the boys, he left. I want to see the world. I'm not staying all my life in the village, doing farming. And the others say, oh, well, if that's what you want to do, we're staying here. You go. When you come back, tell us what you have experienced in the world. So he went, and he came into the company of some mystic yogis and they taught him some mystic powers. He became a mystic yogi, so to speak, with some mystic power. What was his mystic power? He could become lighter. He could defy gravity. In fact, he could walk on water. Who else walked on water? Jesus walked on water. Jesus walked on water. He was on the lake of Galilee, and there were the disciples in a boat. And so Jesus walked over the water towards them. And they were so much inspired that they also tried to walk on the water, and for a short time they could, but then they lost faith and they couldn't anymore. So Jesus walked on water. It's a very well-known story. Where did Lord Jesus Christ, where did he get his mystic power from?
I think he was in India for some time.
He was in India.
He was.
And he studied amongst yogis, and he had association of devotees, yogis, and so on and so on. He was in Kashmir. There's still a monument which speaks of him in Kashmir. And here in the West we have so lost, 30 years of Jesus Christ? There's no record. Everything has been from his birth in Bethlehem, and everything has been recorded nicely. And then there is a gap, I believe, of 30 years. Nobody knows, sir. That was a time when he was in India. So this is a mystic power, sir. And he had more mystic powers. If we just stay a moment with Lord Jesus Christ, he could heal the sick. He could heal the story of the leper, who he said, just get up, take your bed and walk, go home. And because it needs also something else, it needs faith of the other person. That leper, he had that faith in Jesus Christ, and then it manifested like that. So his disciples in the boat, when Jesus walked over the water, they had that faith for a little bit of time, and then they lost it, then gone. So he healed the sick. He did many miracles, so to speak. He changed water into wine. That's an interesting miracle. It wasn't actually wine as we know it here. Wine is that wine at the time was some concentrated grape juice. They didn't know wine like we know in the Western countries. So they had this concentrated grape juice. And he was urged to come. There was a wedding going on. And there were so many people said that grape juice, let's call it wine, it ran out. And they were in great anxiety. What if festivities and dancing was going on and all of that? And the people will be very unhappy. What is that? You have a wedding and you're running out of wine? How is that possible? Even think of in Western terms. There's a wedding and everybody, big feast and everything, and everybody gets a glass of wine. That's what they do. The wine is there, alcohol is there to digest the meat. Srila Prabhupada said. Because the meat is very difficult to digest, so they're drinking some wine, which helps. So imagine, they drink a glass of wine and then the wine runs out. It's a wedding. Well, a very, very bad situation. So eventually they approached Jesus, please help us out. He said, okay, take me to, bring some water, put in this big, huge clay vessels. And then he said some prayers. And then he said, serve it serve it to the guests. The guests were saying, well, bring more wine, bring more wine. Serve it out, and they were perplexed. Water. And he served it out. It was wine. So that's a mystic power. The wedding to Cana, that was a place. So many mystic powers. So a devotee using any shaktis he has in the service of the Lord. And the impersonalists, the mystic yogis, they want the admiration. So that boy who went to study Ashtanga mystic yoga, after maybe also 30 years, he came back to the village. He thought, I have to visit the village again, see my friends, what they have been up to. And it was great joy. They met up again. These boys, they have stayed in the village all the 30 years while he was. So they're asking him, so what have you seen? He told him he has been here and said, what have you accomplished? He said, I can walk on water. What? Nobody can walk on water. He said, I can walk on water. Show us, we want to see. So he went to the lake. In the village, there's always a lake, isn't it? But particularly in Bengal. There's so much water, so many lakes. And the lakes is for everything. The lake is for washing, is for bathing, for everything. And then he walked from the other side of the lake, he walked over the lake. And he walked to the boys. So, what do you think now? He wanted that admiration. Wow, great, wonderful what you have accomplished. No, they didn't. He asked them, so what is it worth? Is it worth 30 years studying? He said, well, it's worth 5 paisa. What? I spent 30 years and you say it's worth 5 paisa. Because I pay 5 paisa to the boatman. He's taking me also over the lake, so it's worth 5 paisa. If I want to get over, so I don't have to study for 30 years. I give him 5 paisa, so it's worth 5 paisa. Wow. So the mystic yogis, they want self-aggrandizement, they want respect, they want admiration, at least that they want. They want to show off their mystic powers. But the devotee engages if he has any shaktis in the service of the Lord. Then Srila Prabhupada writes, if we just carry on, but the person acting in Krishna consciousness works for the satisfaction of the whole without self-interest. A Krishna conscious person has no desire for self-satisfaction. His criterion of success is the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus he is a perfect sannyāsī or perfect yogi. That we want to achieve, to satisfy Krishna. That shall be our goal. And that can be achieved in many different ways. Hanuman, back to Hanuman. His mood was a servant and the master. Lord Ram is the master, I'm the servant. Dasya Bhakti, Prema, Dasya Prema. So he would, in so many ways, he has performed so many wonderful services. When Gop Kumar, on his travel to the higher planetary systems, on his travel on the way to Goloka, the last The gateway to Goloka is Ayodhya Dham in the spiritual world. Ayodhya. That's a gateway to Goloka. So we're going to Goloka, we're going through Lord Ram's Ayodhya. So he achieved Ayodhya eventually, and so he saw Lord Ram. I mean, he describes it, the most exquisite human form ever be conceived. Beautifully, with ornaments and such a merciful glance. And so Lord Ram was very happy that Gopkumar had come. And Hanuman, who was on the side of Lord Ram, he went, not just went, he jumped. Monkeys jump. He jumped to Gopkumar, took him by the hand and brought him right in front of Lord Ram. How beautiful is that? We wish we could be just put in front of Lord Ram. We would take the foot dust off his feet. And then when Hanuman introduced Gopkumar, then very quickly Hanuman took back his position in seva for Lord Ram, because he cannot be without seva for Lord Ram. What seva is he doing? He's fanning with a chamara or peacock. The chamara is actually meant not for fanning. What is it meant for?
So that there's no insects or anything.
For what?
So that nothing comes to the Lord, like flies or insects.
Exactly.
Like that.
Exactly. It's for getting the insects away. And the peacock fan is for fanning. Air, cool air, in hot climate. Therefore we stop the peacock over the winter, because if we fan cold air, we get a cold. We don't want the Lord to get a cold. We dress him so warm in nice sweaters and the feet warm, and then we're fanning with a peacock. That doesn't make sense. But in the summer when it's hot, yes, then the peacock fan is used again. So that is a servant-master relationship. We're going a little bit further, and then we have the relationship of a friend. The friend, the love, the prema of the sakas, the cowherd boys in Vrindavan, that includes also the element of master, servant, but without the aishvarya, without the awe and reverence. So servant, a friend, the sakas come to mind, and of course Arjuna. Arjuna was Krishna's friend. Only once that friendship was disturbed. When was that? When was that friendship disturbed? And the Aishwarya feature came in, the awe and reverence, oh my Lord. Because before, Arjuna and Krishna were friends. They're sitting on the same bed, they're eating together, they're doing so many things together, like friends do. There was not, oh my Lord.
Oh, that was when the time when Krishna shows his universal form.
Yes, when Krishna shows his Vishwarup, then he saw the opulences of the Lord. So his friendship, his bhava, his emotions of friendship, that disappeared. In fact, he said, please excuse me, my Lord. I have been so familiar. Now I understand your real position. You are the source of this creation. You are the maintainer, you are the Supreme Godhead, and you are Narayan, you are Vishnu, and so on and so on. So then it was disturbed. When else? I mean, interesting. Arjuna was overwhelmed when he saw the opulences of the Lord. He was overwhelmed with Aishwarya, awe and reverence and respect, right? But when Mother Yashoda saw all the universes in Krishna's mouth, she wasn't coming to Aishwarya at all, because she was in Vatsalya, parental love, which is higher than Sakya Rasa. And what did she think? She was not, oh my Lord, you are the Supreme Person. No, you're my Lala, what's wrong? Something wrong with me. I'm hallucinating her. Or maybe some witch has done something to my Lala. So she got some Brahmins to chant some mantras, and he bathed him immediately in cow dung and cow urine and all that auspicious things. That was her reaction. Not like Arjuna, oh, my dear Krishna, my Supreme Personality of God. So that is an elevated position of that parental affection. What to speak of the gopis? When they searched after Krishna after he left the rasa dance, and Lord Narayan was there. What was it? Was it, oh, Lord Narayan? No, it wasn't like that. So, oh, Lord Narayan, nice to meet you, so to speak. Oh, Lord Narayan, do you know where Krishna has gone? Can you help us? We're looking for Krishna. So there wasn't Aishwarya also, because they're in the highest mellow of Madhurya. So all these beautiful things, but we have kind of deviated from the verse. And Krishna has just eaten, respected, enjoyed this beautiful offering, which is only possible because we are not impersonalists of wanting to merge into the Brahman. Okay. Oh, who is there? Amrita Radha Mataji is still here. Jayanti Pai and Vaishana, yeah. So, again, a Krishna conscious person has no desire for self-satisfaction. His criterion of success is the satisfaction of Krishna. And thus he is a perfect sannyāsī or perfect yogi. And then Srila Prabhupada quotes a beautiful Shikshastakam verse. Na dhanam na chanam na sundarim. And we're going straight to that translation. Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. These are all traps for devotees, because bhakti, practicing bhakti yoga, so many opulences coming along. There may come some wealth, but such, we are not, devotees are not deviated by some accumulation of wealth. There may be beautiful women in our company. Of course, as sannyāsīs, we have to be very careful, but a devotee is not deviated. And if one is gathering some followers as guru or not as guru, becomes famous, maybe as internet guru, followers and so on, that is all right if it's used in the service of the Lord. But a devotee, a pure devotee, doesn't want any number of followers. So here Lord Chaitanya himself says, I don't want to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. So what does he want? What I want is only the causeless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. So that's the devotee's attitude. The service, the causeless mercy of Krishna's devotional service. It's not that I am doing some seva. No, Krishna is merciful and gives us some seva. If Krishna engages us in some seva, it's this way around. It's not up to us to take to some service for the Lord. We are benedicted. And not only your devotional service, but I want the causeless mercy of your devotion. It's a great mercy to be engaged in devotional service. So Lord Chaitanya gives an example here. I beg for the causeless mercy of your devotional service of my Lord. Lord Chaitanya teaching us. Of course, he's Krishna himself, but he takes a position of us, really. So we learn how to pray and how to aspire for the causeless mercy of Krishna's devotional service. And not only that, he says, birth after birth. That's a very significant point. It's not, I want the causeless mercy of your devotional service and then I want to go back home to Godhead. Get out of here. That's not what Lord Chaitanya says. Because a pure devotee is not aspiring for any kind of mukti, certainly not sayuchya, of merging, but not even salokya, samipya, any sarupya, any of the other muktis. So, a pure devotee does not even aspire to go back home to Godhead. He is happy, like Lord Chaitanya points out here, to serve Krishna in devotional service, birth after birth. And Srila Prabhupada mentions, before we closing for tonight, the acharyas actually stay in this material world. They don't go back home to Godhead. They're staying here because they have a mission. They have a mission to teach the fallen people of this age, or any age. Okay, we'll take one question, if there is a question, before we stop. Any question? Anyone? Vashana Jayanti Pai Amritarate Hare Krishna. Any question? If not, or Tejas has a question? Tejas Prabhu, question? Amritarate, any
Yes,
question?
Prabhu. Hi. No, Prabhu, no questions. Thank you so much for reminding us of Vrindavan Dham and the Gop Kumar story and basically our destination. Just one quick comment. In Ayendra Prabhu's book, I read that in Bhagavad Gita, from Bhagavad Gita, we understand that we are not these bodies. But if we are not these bodies, then who are we? So in Bhagavad Gita, it says, 1 upon 10,000 part, we are that kind of very small particle. But then that's not very satisfying. But when we learn that we have an eternal body in Vrindavan Dham, which we can use freely to satisfy Radharani and Krishna, that is very fulfilling. That's it, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Says it again, in short. I had to turn up the volume a little bit. Can you
Sorry, Prabhu, right now it's a very chaotic situation at home. But yeah, so basically, it's good to know that we are not just tiny particle of consciousness, but we have an eternal body in Vrindavan Dham, which we can use without any what do you call hindrances in serving the senses and for the pleasure of Radhe Shyam. So it's a
Jai, Hare
very
Krishna.
satisfying theory and science.
Yes, you speaking about our eternal Swarup, right? Our eternal spiritual body in our specific relationship with the Lord. Yes, we can talk another time more deeply about these things, but that Swarup will manifest in due course of time. And that are the higher stages of Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti and Asakti and Bhava Bhakti. And yes, all these things are there. Yes, it's comforting to know we have a place in Krishna's family. We just have to purify this material existence and get rid of all our selfish desires. Because with selfish desires, we would just be a disturbance amongst Krishna's associates, where these beautiful pastimes are going on in the spiritual world. And if anybody would have entrance with even the slightest selfish desire, it would just completely cause disharmony there, because there everybody is free from any selfish desire and just wants to serve Krishna in the various moods of prema, love for Krishna. And on that note we stop tonight. Thank you for being there. Amrita Radhe Mataji, Tejas Prabhu Jayandi Bhai Vaishana Mataji. And anybody who comes across our program tonight on the internet from thousands and thousands of people who tuning in. So thank you. Have a wonderful weekend and week, and seeing you back on Wednesday for Bhagavad Gita discussions. Hare Krishna.